Folks, will give a few more seconds to participant to join in. And we'll be starting quickly. All right, everyone, welcome to this webinar for software development optimization from Sumo Logic. My name is Ashutosh Gupt, and I am a senior enterprise solution engineer with Sumo Logic India. I just a quick note for your to you so that you can ask a question, post your questions on Q&A box, and we can take it towards the presentation itself, or we can take it at the end of the demo. Okay, so today the topic, as you know, is software development optimization. And with that, let me just talk about it, what we are going to do today. So we'll be taking this quick overview of this, what the software development optimization is, talk about the DORA matrix, and we'll then come to the live demonstration of the particular, overview of this particular solution. So if many of the folks already must be knowing that observability means different to the different teams, and it has a different use cases there. But as a pillar, it has monitor, diagnose, and troubleshooting as the main key components which build observability. So because we are talking today on, of course, it needs improving the MTTI, MTTR. It talks about improving software velocity and quality, which is the topic today, in fact. And talking about the overall DevSecOps story. It's talking about how can you detect and protect your enterprise. Now, with today's topic, which is more of a software development optimization, the middle pillar, which is basically important, which talks about how you monitor and improve your software quality and the agility about it. If you talk about it, in the monitoring terms, it says that how your development pipelines are, how you diagnose the failures, how fast you can recover things and identify the process inefficiencies. Then you talk about the troubleshooting part, how the root cause identification can be faster, and how can you optimize your development process itself. So all in all, we will talk about much more detail about all these things, and what the benchmarking are, how we can improve this using the Sumo Logic as a platform. So if you talk about Sumo, which is in the core, it's a SaaS-based platform. Many of you are already using this platform for different use cases, maybe for log monitoring, log analysis, so maybe security analytics, operational analytics, etc. But if you talk about this particular piece, which is software development optimization, it's basically, and if you see on the left, what it's saying, it's you can take data from anywhere. And many of you must be knowing that how we can take data from many sources in a various format in a very well documented method into Sumo Logic. Now, in today's development, is very, very different from the previous years, previous days. Today, there are multiple tools and the multiple, environment and ecosystem people are using, and they use multiple tools. So inside a single organization itself, there are different team who uses different, DevOps tool or CI/CD pipeline tool. So get this, build their solution, build their software, right? Example is Jira, Bitbucket, GitHub, PagerDuty, and many of a collaboration tool like Slack and others, right? So Jenkins is very common ones into all this. What happen is, because there are teams using a different kind of a tool and different kind of, there's no set benchmark, there's no set way of managing and understanding that how this whole process, how it is working towards an organization goals, in organization requirement. How can you track, how can you see that, how better you can perform? So with the Sumo, we have something called software development optimization, based on a DORA matrix, which I'll talk about in a minute. It takes all the data from many of the sources. As we said, that you can take data from any sources, and we have a various different method to take and normalize the data and bring it to Sumo Logic. So once you bring the data, normalize it, we can correlate this data and give you the sense of it. And what benefit? Of course, it will be faster release velocity in terms of the this particular use case. If you talk about improving the reliability and security, and of course, once you have this all mix and have collaborated, you can have a greater team, understanding, collaboration together, right? So we use various method and techniques to manage, plan, and enrich the data and give you the right insight about your data itself from various sources. Now with that, if you go to this one, I'm not sure if many of you know, or maybe already working on this. There is something called DORA metrics, which is a DevOps Research and Assessment organization, which setting the benchmark. There's setting a benchmark to understand. The key benchmark are mainly towards the performance benchmarking as well as the end-to-end optimization. So it works on 4 key metrics, which are your deployment frequency, the lead time to change, mean time to recover, and the change failure rates, right? And these are basically required to make more efficient performing team, as well as more reliable and secure software, right? And of course, it will give you more benefit in terms of how easily, how better things can be done. So they come up with many of the benchmarks on which this particular software optimization solution is built on. So if you talk about taking the data, if you see the bottom of the slide, there are many sources from where the data can come. When the data is there, we can create the whole understanding by doing multiple enrichment, normalization, and correlating all the data to get a meaningful event, a meaningful set of as a kind of a notification saying that what is going on, understanding basically the whole process. Now if I just quickly move to the architecture part of it, the way we do it for this particular software development optimization part is, as we say, we can take data from many of the sources, and here for this particular use case, we take data from many sources using the Terraform. Now Terraform, as you might be knowing, it makes more life simpler, and taking the data from many of these sources, whether you are using one or many of these tools for your development life cycle. It takes the data, normalization is the one which has been done using the Terraform, and it then bring to Sumo logic to create the out of the box dashboard, create right correlation rule, and give you something what you see in the right hand side, the kind of a visual matrix and a visual information which helps you to build your solution to optimize and get the value faster from your development organizations. Now if I talk about the why part of it, that why this has been required, why at all this DORA and the benchmarking things comes into the place. So if you talk, if you know that this is the kind of a report which is available, and which shows that compared to any any the development teams inside any organization, at high performance or elite performers, I'll say, in your development organization, releases the code or deployment 200 times more faster versus the low performing or kind of a not very high performing teams. Their lead time to change, the commit to deploy time is 106 times faster compared to the other teams. And also at the same time, recovering from incident or issues or defects, this is 2604 times faster for the high performance team. Then of course, deploying the breaking changes is 7 times lower for the high performing team rather than the low performing ones, right? So these are the reason behind putting a benchmark, coming to a place where defining that how better things can be done and how better things can be available and utilized to bring your all team to a certain level and create a benchmark into your organization, so that you can deploy faster, get to a root cause faster, and get more high performing teams across your organization. Now, some of the, again, breaking down into the pillars. If you talk about these benchmarking into software delivery performances, categorically, as I said in the start, there are two metrics. One is a measure of your agility, how fast you deploy, and the measure of the reliability, how better and how reliable your software is, right? So under that, if you talk about the deployment frequency, which is how often your code is deployed into production. So of course here the faster is better. And then what is your lead time to change, right? So from commit to the production deployment, how in the shortest possible time you can achieve that. Of course here the shorter is better. And if you talk about the reliability side of it, the mean time to recovery, which is from any kind of issues or defects, how faster you can recover, how short time it will take to recover from that issues, right? And here of course shorter is better. And change failure rates, as I see in the previous slide as well. So how what is the percentage of deployment that subsequently require remediation, right? Here of course the lower failure rates are much better, right? In that terms, so these are a couple of reason the benchmarking into more detail, which is more talking about the agility and reliability of your software development or deployment. With that, let me actually start with the I'll not put more on the slide side. I'll go to my presentation, to the software itself, and bring that from Sumo logic side, how we do this, how we achieve those, what we are saying about the DORA metric, the software development optimization techniques, right? Now, if you see that, if you see this, this is the DORA metrics overview dashboard, which we are talking about based on the benchmarking. So here, these are the live computation of the key metrics. So these are not like, putting something from a Jenkins and putting into Excel and then showing it to you. These are actually running and live, and it shows your current state of your your teams, your development, deployment stages, right? Your different uh, things which are working into your towards the uh, development organization, right? So that is the key metrics. And if you see, these are again divided into four different uh, parts. One, the same ones, the deployment frequency and the lead time for changes, change failure rates, and time to restore the services, right? Here, very easily, it's a, you can see what is the trend going on, just towards the right side of the main heads up display. When you see that, it says that how the trend is going, what is my deployment frequency trends are. You can easily find it out that there's a lead time for change which is going very high, and it shows that there's a trend which is going upward, which is not a good sign. And then if you go see there on the reliability side of it, it says that how the change failure rates are going on. Again, this is going towards that high, which might may not be very good sign now. And then what is my restoration time, right? How I what is this, how I restore the services in the better way. So these are like a heads up display, like a kind of traffic light view, which is important to understand that how in the real time the data is generated, and giving you a quick glimpse and a quick view of what is going on into it. And this is primarily based, as we say, on the DORA metrics, which are benchmarked globally and available for your organization. And this data is specific to you. And again, as I said, whether you are using three or one or two or many, for that matter, many of the tools in the background, this will populate the data based on your organization. It is a configurable dashboards, and these are only pulling the data in the real time and giving you the right set of visibility for your organization. So now if you can see that there's a trend which is going on in the lead time for change, as we say, it's in the heads up display. We can see there's a spike which is showing that trend is going towards higher lead time for change, right? And for that, if you can go to drill down more into the specific dashboard for this, which is the same as your lead time for change dashboard. And here, if you go drill down into and break down into multiple views, the first one is the same. It shows the 29.2 hours, which are taking in the general average. And if you go into further, it shows the panel which says the repos which are having the slowest lead time, right? It shows by services what are my lead time. Then it shows by team what are my lead time for changes, right? So all this will be having a different details about it. You can go further, drill down into each of these specific panels and see what's going on. Now, by seeing this itself, there's a pipeline duration panel which shows that there's a pipeline which is blowing up all the time, and which might be the reason for causing this particular delay, which causing the lead time. And I can visually see very evident that there's a one master built test pipeline which is taking mm, um, blowing up the whole time and taking a lot of time uh, uh, to complete the cycle, and compared to what you're seeing in the master deploy life cycle, right? If I have to go further, and if I have to before I go into investigate further, I can also say there's a daily average lead time, there's an average time by repos, and then specific details on a particular panel where we can drill down into each and say that what's going on. Now, to investigate further, I will go to this particular panel, and if I go to this pipeline stage based monitoring, it will show me all this pipeline related stuff. It says what is my pipeline, what is my stage name, and then the status accordingly. I can filter here with that. Now, if I see that, it says that my pipeline execution count, right? It says the master deploy. It's taking what says my the build test, right? It says that stage execution count. What are my different stages, and what is the bifurcation for those stages itself. Now going to the failed stages itself, it will show me those bifurcation as well. Now again, if you go and see the different part of it, I can visually see that there is a pipeline duration panel, which shows me that there's a master build regression test under this pipeline, which is taking more time for this build test, master build test pipeline, versus of course there's a very less time which is taking for the master deploy pipeline. Now, if I have to go do more deeper investigation for this particular pipeline and that's this particular stage, which is a regression test, I can simply go ahead here and uh, just do the filtering based on my pipeline and the stage name. Here I can see the regression test is taking time, so I'll go to here and do the filtering of that. Now under a regression test, immediately it will show me that what are the different stages which is taking time. Here again, if I see, this is showing specifically for a regression test and showing result taking 24 hours, right, to complete. Now, if I drill down further and see that top 10 slowest steps which are taking for this particular pipeline and this particular stage, I can quickly see that there's a one stage which is ETL build test, backend ETL test, which is taking 23 hours out of all this hours which are consuming. Now, this is where I can quickly find it out that where the problem is, what is that issue in which step which is blowing up the whole by my lead time for changes, right? So now you can see that how important is to understand from the very high level of the heads up display here uh, to going and getting into the root cause and finding that where the problem is and where my issues are lying. So that is the way you can simply do some filtering and immediately somebody can find it out, rather than doing some Excel, putting some data into that, going into each and every pipeline, asking people, doing some kind of manual work. That is not required, because the data is integrated, normalized and correlated. You are able to find it out much easier and a faster manner, right? I'll just remind you, if you have any question, please post it in Q&A box, and we'll take it at the end of the session. Now, if I go further and understand what all other things which it provides, is there is a pipeline overview, dashboard, which gives you a right to left view of what's going into your development organization. Now, it can be further drilled down. If you see this, there are, the pipeline execution, how it is happening, what is the trend of it, right? Number of jobs and how these are performing over a period of time, right? Then if you go towards a little down here in the pipeline overview dashboard, there's something called alerts. Now this is coming alerts and top 10 critical alerts. This is primarily coming from your service management side, right? So how maybe your Jira and ticketing, how things are performing, what are the critical alerts which you are seeing here. And it can further if you can go ahead and take a look into a particular alert, you can simply click on it and it will take you to that particular alert, that where things are. Maybe it's gone by now, but yeah, it can go to the different alert directly by whatever integration it has, maybe Jira or PagerDuty or anywhere. Now these are the alerts, and if you go ahead and see the deploy part of it, right, how the deployments are, you can see that there's a segregation in terms of a failed versus success deployments, right? And the top 10 failed ones, right, which is very important. And if again here you can go ahead to a specific committed ones and see that into GitHub, by again GitHub integration, you can see that the particular commit deployment which is happening, and look into that why it has been failed, right, what stage it is, right? To dig more details into this, if you go here and try to see in the build part of it, and again, all this have a different dashboard, drill down further into more specific ones, which I'll show you a couple of it in today's session. But yeah, if you see this is a build part of it, the build is saying that what is the build status, or what are the top 10 failed builds, right? Now, what are the PRs, right? What are the failed PRs, right? Top 10 ones which are taking the longest duration of it. Again, the issues part of it, coming from a service management side, your Jira, what is the issue trend? What are the completed ones, which are the open ones, right? What are the critical issues which are still pending, right? What is the trend of your issue, right? If you want to click and see that what issues are, you can go to the specific tickets, right, in the Jira, and see that what's going on. And it can be any tool for that, what it can be integrated into Sumo and get the data populated for you, right? So if I go to one of my I'll go to build one first. So if I go to build, you can see that how your builds are, the total build events, right? You can see the builds segregation as well, the failed versus unstable versus success versus about it. And again, as I say, these are all very configurable, customizable dashboard, which can make a use as per your requirement. You want it in a different graph, different visualization, you can also use that. Now, build by services, right? How you builds across your services, maybe your payments and other ones which are here, for example. And then build by teams. Build by teams, how you look into your teams, which are the ones which are taking a longer time. What are the counts related to that as well? Then you see the success versus failures, that this is very important to know, that where your build pipelines are, where the things are going wrong, right? You can drill down to the failed ones and find it out, the root causes as well, right? Then you can see the top 10 failed builds, top 10 successful ones, right? Whatever the difference into this. Going to the pull request, right? So your pre-arts, these are very important for a software software development organization, because this will give you a lot of detail in terms of how things are being built, how your PRs are performing, manage, merge versus decline, right? You can see there's a top 10 services, top 10 services based on by your PRs, right? Your PRs and the target branch, right? Where it's coming from, right? Top 10 receivers for this. Now, when you see there's when there is an issue, right? When there is a problem, there's a you can see there's a pull requests which are into the failed states, right? Also, if I go to this will give you a very, very helpful to understand that when we try to optimize the tooling, or when we try to understand that what is my merge versus any kind of a declined ones, what services has most number of PRs, right? What is my top 10 reviewers by average time, if you go here into this one, right? My top 10 repos, right, which are here by my average time, right? Now, this will also give me a lot of insight about whether my processes are right, whether I need to invest some time to work on my team's improvement, right? Whether they have to re-skills, re-enable to make a better software, to make a better, teams which are going to be high performing. So of course, going into deep details, it will give you a lot of understanding about how your PRs are, how they're performing, whether they are into the right channel, or whether you realign or reskill people to get into the right shape or not, right? Now, I can also do go to the alerts ones. Now, alerts are very important, because when you look into let me go to alert ones. Yeah, so if I go to alerts, basically this is talking from your uh, uh, from a service management angle, right? Your service management side of it. This will give you how do I how do my critical P1s are there, right? What are my what are the production issues are going on, what are the ones which are really need immediate attention by my team, right? What is the distribution, right? What distribution by team, distribution by services, and of course, as I said, the high priority ones, the close versus the created ones, how the trend is, how we are performing on the different defects or not. Now this is coming again on the reliability part of it, knowing that how better I'm coming out of any issue, how better we can really, work on the defects and get back to the normal situation. So all in all, if I say this, all this dashboard, the built ones, the PRs, right, uh, and the SDO dashboard for your pipeline reviews, etc. Bring back to the core, core understanding of a DORA matrix, which gives us a very high visibility in terms of what is going on in a real time. And these are not the aggregated ones or the sampled ones, which are giving you some data based on your previous, cycle, putting something from Excel and putting back to this is a real time, this is your data, and it gives you a lot of insight about how things are being performed, how things are being utilized, and how your teams are performing, how your build pipelines are, uh, how things are going. From the heads up display, from the very high level overview, going to the each and every dashboard, each and every specific panels, to get into the root causes first of all, and get to make the more reliable and faster deployment of your overall software delivery lifecycle. And this is, again, as I said, this is a part of your Sumo logic deployment. There's nothing like, you need to uh, uh, pay extra, or it's part of your app catalog. Once you have this data ingested into Sumo logic, whether, as I said, whether you are using one set of tool or many, based on that, these dashboard will be popular. And I mean, any of the organization, if you talk about, they use many of the collaboration tools, many of the, ticket and defect management, like Jira, which is very popular, Jenkins, which is more of a popular ones. And as you start bringing the data, pulling into Sumo logic, using the various method and of deployment, it will be much easier to build this kind of dashboard, which will build this kind of environment, and get you the real visibility into your software development optimizations, and get into the very much. And again, as I said, this is not something like, DORA matrix, which is set up and then you can't play around it. You can change your, frequency, you can change your filters, you can make the use of this based on your organization, based on what you are using, how you are using, and so on and so forth. So many things which you can do with this, and it will give you a lot of insight about how things will perform. So with that, what I'll do is I'll go back to my presentation, and I'll start looking at your questions, because more or less in this short demonstration where I'm giving you the overview of how things are. And we can definitely like to love to hear from you. If you have any specific question, you can reach out to us. I will read out your question one by one, and then let's understand that what we can, how are you asking. So I can see a couple of questions. There's one which you're asking: during pushing changes in production via CI/CD, while deploy XML having wrong path, server mentioned in the path. So I'll add all the files from Bitbucket and update it into NetSuite. The script files are not changed, but logs are printed into NetSuite. Please advise me root cause. I probably need to get into more details about it, but I'm not sure if you're using this tool already in your environment. This primarily gives you the idea of how you can bring your tools data into Sumo. You can bring that into Sumo logic, and with the right integration and the right enrichment of the data, you can definitely then understand that how your pipelines are, how your deployments are going. And definitely, even if you are not putting all the set of data, may not be putting from different path of it, you can definitely get into the something which will give you the at least the root causes. To answer your question, yes, it is very much possible. You can bring the data into Sumo from these particular tools like Bitbucket, Jenkins, and others, and get into the finding the root causes, finding what's going on, what's not working right. And then of course you can build that specific deployment related issues, or something related to the DORA metrics also, to get on the root causes faster. Okay. uh, I can see this RACM required. I'm not very sure about what is RACM. Okay, if you can post that as well. Ticket logged into Jira. How to define priority and categorization. Will service now integration? Yes. So see, this particular solution which I'm talking about, it's nothing to related with your, whether it's your issues are logged into Jira or a service now. The what tool does is it give you the visibility across your defects, if across your across your notification, how the issues are going. If you remember the slide, it's more talking about more in terms of uh, what your alerts are, what are your P1s, what are your maybe low high priority tickets, right? So it will it will understand from your tool, whether it's a Jira, ServiceNow, or anything else. We have a ready-made integration with that. You can get the detail and then work backwards toward, like, why things are, what is the trend of that, why it is happening, what team, who are the ones which are working, what are the my build pipelines are. So many things which you can get using this particular solution. Also, whatever you're bringing, you can see it in the live, because you have a direct integration. You can click and go into that particular dashboard, if that answers your question. Now, personalized dashboard review of changes. Yes, you can do it very well. As I said, this is nothing related to a specific environment or a specific very hard coded use cases where only something can be done in a similar way or something not. uh, it can be customized, can be configured according to your requirement. So even if you are bringing data, as you say, mentioned that you are bringing from ServiceNow or maybe other tools, or maybe something very different, right? We have ways to normalize and get into the uh, the data enrichment, where you can get visibility according to your specific organization, your specific toolings, right? Nothing very hard coded that this can only work if you have this set of tools. As we say, where many tools which are being used by organization, so it can be definitely work towards your set of tools as well. Need PPT. Yes, we will share this presentation. We'll share this recording. You can play around, play it with it after this. Whoever has registered, also we can talk. We can connect. I'll post my uh, connect whom we can connect with, so that we can hold on for a minute. Yeah. So we can you can reach out to your specific AMs, or you can just simply work with many of our folks. So we can work on your specific use case itself. Right. So if I go to the next question, risk and control matrix. And okay. Yeah. Okay. Risk and control matrix. We don't have specifically from a DORA standpoint, but define, and based on your use case itself, we can, because as you know, Sumo is a platform, and it's not specific to say SDO. SDO is, today we are doing this presentation, and today we are doing this discussion on the software development optimization. But use case can be anything. Use case can be your operational analytics, or as I said in the start, the observability side of it. You can run and monitor. You can understand how your uh, you know things are. So bring the data, bring it in a way, bring into the Sumo, and then we can work according to your use case to understand more clarity, more visibility, and control around your use cases on your organization specifically, right? So we can definitely work. We'll be taking you to the discussion. So we'll connect probably to have more discussion around your use cases, and we can reach out to you can also reach out to specific AMs if you are into your territory. Otherwise, we can directly connect. I will be sending, just putting this note where you can, you can just sign up for a free trial. It's Sumo Logic. So one important point, we can reach out to our Slack channel, which is open. If you're already a user, or if you're trying the Sumo Logic, you can join the community, and you can post your question to get a quick answer. Someone from the around the world will be answering your specific question itself on this Sumo customer channel, the Dojo channel itself. You can reach out to our account manager in specific region, or you can just post your query to the sales@sumologic.com to get your specific question answered, and we can immediately connect with you to help you out, work on your use cases, and get into the right set of solution which you require. You can, as I said, you can also start your free trial anytime, and it's free for 30 days. You can bring your set of data into Sumo without any compulsion, and then you can choose your region and start getting into seeing into build your use cases itself. As I said, we can reach out to or we can connect to help you out in understanding your use cases and get into the right set of solution which may be needed by you. So as what else? Yeah, so recording of the session, yes, as I said, at the end of the and this maybe end of the day today, or maybe tomorrow, most probably you will be getting your recording of the session on your registered email ID by on which you have registered it. And that's it. You can see it and find your this presentation itself over there, what we have presented today. And we can also connect to get into your specific use case. Okay, and what else? I can't see any more questions here, so probably we can stop. If you, I'll just take a pause here and wait for a few more minutes, a few more seconds probably, and then we can stop this recording and stop the we can then connect sometime again. All right, so if you don't have any more question, we will connect again sometime. I'll just stop sharing and then stop this recording. Thank you so much for joining today, and have a nice rest of the day, rest of the week. Thank you so much. Bye.